Hey bitches! So today we're gonna be talking about Nicki Minaj top 2 songs from each era. And this is not going to include like features or just like standalone singles. This is going to include things from her album, except for the first 2 songs from which is from her Hood Star days. So let's get into the motherfucking gig, man. Okay, so now for the Hood Star days, the first one, we have to give it to the Batman verse. Shit was fire. That little he say I'm fabulous with it. Why? Cause I make him come faster than a speeding bullet. He got that it. That shit was fire as fuck. And if your money short like midgets, keep them digits. And then the next song we have to give it to is Nigga Please. Nigga Please, Please Pretty. They call me Nicki, straight from Queens. I'm about that green and that Asian 19. I cut my white beam. Flow tighter than fat bitches and G-strings. It's a G thing. I'm a gangstress. Fire as fuck. With these 2 songs, this is where you can really tell like Nicki coming through, and this is when she started incorporating bars into her songs. The flow was just sick. She's always had a sick flow from the very beginning, and these songs came out in about 2002. This one she was with a group called Hood Stars. Her, Lou Cash or something, or Lou Star or some shit like that, and Safari and some other dude. Girl, I don't remember the whole group name or whatever, but they was called the Hood Stars. They started rapping about 2002, 2003. That's when they first songs popped out. But ever since then, Nicki been that bitch. Let's get into the next. Now, this one we move more into Nicki dropping her first ever mixtape called Playtime Is Over, and she dropped this while she was under Dirty Money, which she was the motherfucking president of. You get it. But if this song is not on your list for her top songs from any era, bitch, you're a psycho. But warning, she's that bitch. My bitch flow from the beginning. Her storytelling was on point. Her motherfucking bars were on fucking point, to the point where I'm like, Biggie, he's one of the greatest of all motherfucking time. But with this song, this one you really see how far Nicki can push her pen. Cause in my opinion, her flow was better than his over the song. Now you can say whatever content you like better or whatever, but as far as flow, Nicki flowed over that motherfucking song, and she made it to hers while still keeping the essence of what Biggie did. Now the next song. This one was kind of hard because it's a few songs on this mixtape that I just love so fucking much. Like Sunshine, of course. There's plenty of them, but so it was kind of hard for me to pick which one was the next best, but I had to give it to Niggas. That song, fire as fuck. Nicki came on that bitch speaking her shit, speaking real ass shit, speaking about things that she's going through, but she also gave it a perspective of what other dudes could be going through as a female. Girl, I lost my thought. She understands what you're going through, and she's also saying that she's also proud of you at the same time, which I love so fucking much. This is for my niggas that did, so all of my niggas that's doing time for some shit that they ain't did. This is for my niggas that wow. Okay, now let's move on to the motherfucking next one, bitch. So we have Sucker Free. Now, Sucker Free is one of my personal fave mixtapes. And then also with Playtime Over, I forgot Playtime Over, that song, she ate that the fuck up. And bitch, I wanted to edit so bad. So bad. But anyway, Sucker Free, let's get back to her. She's one of my personal favorite Nicki mixtapes of all time. I feel like from top to motherfucking bottom, she was rapping. So this one was extremely hard for me to pick 2 songs from. So hard. But I had to go with, first one is Curious George, cause bitch, I was just playing when I said you look like Curious George. Why these bitches in the game getting serious for? That shit was fire as fuck. That whole song was fire as fuck. But I have to give it to that because I loved her flow. I loved the beat that she rapped over. Everything about that was perfection. And number 2, bitch, it's another Biggie song, but dead fucking wrong. When I say those are some of the best bars that I've ever heard from Nicki, The bars were fucking hitting. Fuck is you talking about? My bitch is the queen of this shit. Okay. And then there's so many other ones on there, but we're not gonna even get into that gig. I'll probably do like a part 2 maybe, possibly. So now let's get into Beam Me Up, Scotty. If this is not the #1 song from this mixtape, then bitch, we need to have a serious talk. But Itty Bitty Piggy, she will forever be that bitch. This is the song that, because remind you, I had heard Nicki before just from like other people listening to it. Because it was this lady that she used to stay with us or whatever, and she was from New York or whatever. So she used to listen to Nicki or whatever. So I've heard other songs, but Itty Bitty Piggy is the song where I became a ultimate stan of Nicki Minaj. When I tell you I love this song just reminds me of my childhood. Just all the good parts of my childhood and even the bad parts, bitch. This song was the song that got me out of any mood that I was in. If I'm in a bad mood, bitch, put Itty Bitty Piggy on and I'm moving. That's a fact. And then we have to give it to Can Anybody Hear Me? That song is just so heartfelt, and I just felt that to the core. It's just like, just not feeling heard in the world. And I definitely related to that as a kid. Just feeling like my opinions or anything that I wanted to do just didn't matter for real. So let's get into that next one. Pink Friday. Pink Friday. Once again, and I'm gonna probably say this about all her fucking projects, but from top to bottom, they all are fire as fuck. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say. But #1 is Moment for Life. Moment for Life is a motherfucking classic. It's a motherfucking staple. It's good for a wedding. It's good for a graduation. Kingston, get at that bitch if you want to. Moment for Life is that bitch. And then the second song, girl, that's hard because we got Super Bass. We got Here I Come, All Girls Fall Like Domino, Last Chance. But I had to go with I'm the Best. It's pop and hip hop perfection. She blended the two together so fucking well, and her rapping on that song was immaculate, and she was talking about real ass shit. Real ass shit. Now the next motherfucking album, Roman Reloaded. Now, I know back then a lot of people had issues with Roman Reloaded, but me personally, I always loved Roman Reloaded. I love that Nicki was able to jump into different bags and try out different things and still be able to compete with not only the rappers of her time, but the pop stars of her time. That's unheard of in female rap and damn near male rap too. But so that album to me was perfection. I love that album, and I love that she split it up in 2 different sides. So if you don't fuck with pop music at all, you didn't have to listen to that side, because the first half of it was all hip hop and she was rapping on all of them songs. So, but the first song that I have to give it to is Come On the Cone. Again, it was hard, but Come On the Cone is just her talking her shit, and I love Nicki when she is in that bag of motherfucking just talking her shit. And from top to bottom, she was talking her shit, and then I love that she was still having fun on it. Like, bitch, who you know is gonna just bust out and say, dick in your face, put my dick in your face, yeah. Like, no bitch is doing it. That song was fire as fuck. And then the second one, I have to give it to Automatic. Now, I know this one, a lot of people might not agree with this one at all. And they might say, bitch, you forgetting about Pound the Alarm. You forgetting about Whip It, Whip It. Like, what the fuck is you talking about, nigga? But Automatic, she's that bitch. She makes you feel sexy. She makes you just want to be sweaty with a little tight robe on and it's silk. And bitch, I just can't control the way I'm moving my hips. I bet you never ever seen it like this. What the fuck is you on? And then now let's get into the motherfucking re-up. The re-up, I love that she said, okay, y'all was talking about my pop shit. Well, I'm about to hit y'all with 5 to 6 more songs of just straight hip hop. Fuck is you on? And she did just that. I loved it. We got some fucking gems on here. It's a lot of slept on songs on that whatever you want to call it, I guess. A deluxe. I would call it a deluxe from the Roman Reloaded. That's what I would personally call it. But Up in Flames, if you a real hip hop head and you love hip hop music, Up in Flames is hip hop perfection. She was ahead of her time with that R. Kelly bar, because bitch, he wasn't even being convicted yet, and everybody forgot about that shit. Wasn't nobody even talking about it. And she talking about, even R. Kelly couldn't touch the kid. Even with all the bars, you couldn't text the kid. I got a pool that I never even swam in. Airports that you bitches never land in. They be like, what you doing, Nicki Brandon? Suck a cockpit, prepare for landing. I'm Brandon, I ain't talking about Presley. I keep a sniper, I ain't talking about Wesley. Why these bitches so press B? Open my trunk, all I gotta do is press B. When she said that, my motherfucking wig, this one, went from here to the back of my motherfucking neck. That shit is insane. I love the singing. It gives me dark, but it also gives me like church, but it also gives me cold. Then it also gives me like a real hard street feel. Then it gives me a Kanye feel. I was in love with Up in Flames. Shit was immaculate. Then the second one, even though I kind of did want to give it to Hell Yeah, because I do feel like that song is extremely, extremely underrated. But I also feel like Freedom, she's underrated too. My bitch was on there talking her shit. Who I want to work with? Nobody. 99% of them, nobody. Bitches acting like they killing shit. Okay. When I check these bitches' guns, nobody's. Just a moment of silence. That shit is insane. I love her fucking singing on that song, the vocals. They were on point, bitch. Her vocals, the background singer vocals, the girl that she be having on stage with her sometimes singing, I think it's her best friend or something like that. I can't remember her name. Start with an S maybe or a K. Don't get me to lying. But Freedom, she's that girl and she will forever be that girl. Nicki was a prophetess in that song. She basically told you how the fuck her career was gonna go, and it went exactly as she said. And I love that she added it's like she almost knew what the name of her albums were gonna be before she even put it out. Because in that song, she literally called out every album title in that motherfucking song. Queen shit. Now, let's get into my personal favorite album from Nicki, The Pink Print. If The Pink Print is not your top Nicki album, I would love to know in the comments what you think is. What do you think is number one? Definitely. Arguably, we can say Pink Friday. We can arguably say that because Pink Friday, we cannot sleep on her at all. She's that bitch. But The Pink Print is Onika. Onika Tanya Mirage. That's her. To the core. And I just fell in love with that album, and it came out at a time when I was going through a little heartbreak myself or whatever. Well, I ain't gonna say back in the day like I'm that old, but you know what I mean. Girl, a minute ago. So I was going through a little breakup at that time. So that album, when I tell you, bitch, I used to be in the car driving, smoking, listening to The Crying Game, Grand Piano, just basically the whole motherfucking album from top to bottom. Crying in a car, driving. I'm looking dumb as fuck. But that made me become emotionally connected to this album. The first song that I have to give it to is I Lied. I wanted to give it to Grand Piano, but I also love Rap Nicki as well. So I Lied is giving me the best of both worlds from Nicki. Her singing on that fucking song was insane. The beat, the production was fucking crazy. I loved her fucking verses. The whole song is a vibe. It's a song I just want to sit, smoke me a motherfucking blunt, be in my feelings. Man, thinking of this nigga in my motherfucking head, like, yeah, nigga, fuck you. But knowing deep down for real that I'm still not done with that nigga. Cause bitch, I still wanna be with him. But my pride is like, nah, you better be done right now type shit. But that's fire as fuck. Then we have to give it to Four Door, Vent the Door. That shit insane. That was another Biggie influence song, and she murdered that shit. The third verse on that song was insane. Excuse my millions. That shit insane. I love that song. And then let's get into motherfucking Queen. A lot of bitches that Slender Queen is giving fuck you. I promise, I swear to God. Queen was fire, and I feel like it would have got a lot more recognition if bitches weren't trying to blackball her and bitches weren't trying to suck somebody else. Thingy thing. Queen would have got a lot more recognition, even though it's sold. Even though no other female rapper has even beat the sales of Queen, like at all. They not even coming close. But the best songs on that album to me is one is Rich. Girl, I can't talk. It's Rich Sex. I love Rich Sex. It's hard hitting. I want to hear it in the club. I need to hear it personally. Cause bitch, what the fuck is you doing fucking that broke nigga? Like, you know you fuck that broke nigga, that Nicki gonna tell on you. So I always keep that in the back of my mind. Always. Anywhere I go, and I'ma hold that dear to my heart. And then we have to get in some motherfucking ganja burn. You can't wear Nicki wigs and then be Nicki. That's like a fat nigga thinking he can be Biggie. And that was a diss to Rick Ross, you know, because Rick Ross was running his mouth around that time too, talking his little shit, hopping on a little bandwagon. Yeah, nigga, just because you're fat don't mean you're a Biggie. Just because you got a pink wig on, that don't mean you're Nicki. Like, at all. I love that fucking song. The video is insane. I would say that is one of Nicki's, at least my top 5 favorite video from Nicki. She looked fucking beautiful in that video. I love that fucking gold headpiece with the bangs. Oh. And then her body was just... Bitch, again. Her body was just insane in that. And then when she was on that tree and she had that leg spread and the titties was just dangling. Bitch, I almost lost my motherfucking mind. Ganja burn, you sleep on ganja burn, bitch. You might as well unsubscribe. But anyway, let me know in the motherfucking comments what you think Nicki's top 2 songs from each era are. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you motherfucking subscribe. Fuck is you talking about? I probably done cut so much in this video that it's giving demonetized already. But anyway, bye. More videos coming soon, girly girl.